Holy shit, look who's back. Back again. Numot's back. And he's drafting. Okay, anyways, yeah. So I think we've done enough Innistrad sealeds for now, so we're going to go ahead and do some videos of Innistrad drafting, 8-4 as usual. Before I jump in the queue, well, actually I'll go ahead and jump in right now. But anyways, I just want to say that you can always check out my stuff over at on YouTube. Username NumotTheNummy, same as my MTGO account. And on Twitter, you can check me out over at NumotTheNummy as well. I don't always have the most interesting, insightful things, but hey, I talk about magic, and yeah, so that's that. So yeah, we'll wait for this 8-4 to fire, and we'll get back to you. Oh wait, I wanted to mention one thing. I'm going to force mill. I've always been a big proponent of mill, especially in like M12 and stuff. And in Innistrad, the mill archetype is certainly, I think, a lot stronger than in any other format there has been. So yeah, just precursor. We're gonna jump in and we're gonna force mill. Okay, we'll see you guys when the packs fire. All right, folks, the draft has fired, and unfortunately, we have opened a pretty piss-poor pack for the mill archetype. I mean, Trepanation Blade is fine, but in the mill archetype, you're not going to have many creatures, and so the Trepanation Blade, you know, is kind of like a dead card a lot of the time, because at least in most of the draft decks I've built, or I mean, sorry, mill decks I've built, I've had like upwards of like 10 creatures max. The best card here is obviously the Heretic's Punishment, and I think we're going to go ahead and take that. It's actually really fine in the mill archetype. I like pairing my blue with red, and this card just puts a lot of flashback cards into your graveyard. In mill, you usually often pick up a lot of Silent Departures, Grasp of Phantoms, you know, Dream Twists, anything with flashback, and so the Heretic's Punishment is going to be pretty good there. Alrighty, next pack. Looks like we have a whole bunch of nothing, and that seems to be the case, but Deranged Assistant is actually pretty good too. I think the best card in this pack is probably the Skurzdag Cultist, and Deadweight's certainly fine as well. But the Deranged Assistant oftentimes becomes a tap, put the top card of your library into your graveyard, add one to your mana pool, and by that I mean, you know, by putting the top card of your library into your graveyard, you're often like drawing a card in a sense because you have so many flashback cards in this archetype. Anyways, there's not much else here for us, so we'll go ahead and take the Assistant. Alrighty, looking at this next pack, same print run it looks like. We have the Deadweight, the Riot Devils, Doom Traveler, a lot of the same stuff. Nothing really happy playing right here. I mean, I guess the Riot Devils is fine. We'd much rather it have be like the Selhoff Occultist, the 2/3 in blue that mills a card whenever a creature goes to the graveyard. Our best bet's probably taking the Deadweight. We can end up going like solid blue-black and then splash the red or something. I think the Galvanic Juggernaut's probably the strongest card in the pack. I'm a big fan of that card, but like I said, we're trying to force mill, so I'll go ahead and take the removal spell. Ooh, and there we go. So while we don't have a mill card yet, we do have a Silent Departure now, and this card is just so much value. I know a one blue sorcery speed on summon is very unexciting, but the fact that it has flashback makes it have a huge tempo boost and just so much of a swing, especially if you have any kind of board presence. The best card in the pack, probably the Abattoir Ghoul. Very good in combat, just so hard to deal with. And we even could take it if we really wanted, but like I said, mill. Alrighty. In this pack, we have a whole bunch of good cards. Unfortunately, none of them mill. The Geist Catcher's Rig's very good. Unburial Rites is very good. But we're not going to play either of those. We're going to just take the Harvest Pyre here. You often get a lot of cards in your graveyard through like Deranged Assistance, Heretic's Punishment, and you know, Armored Scabs, other ways to mill yourself as well. So we're going to go ahead and take the Harvest Pyre. It can usually kill most things. Alright. And we got a good one finally. Well, a good one for the mill archetype. And it's Ghoul Caller's Bell. Like I said before, you have so many ways to flashback cards and so many ways to abuse the graveyard that milling yourself as well as milling your opponent oftentimes becomes, you know, tap it, mill your opponent, draw a card. I mean, I know that's a little bit excessive and not always the truthful case, but it often feels like that. To note, there's a Corpse Lunge in this pack. It's fine removal. Like I said before, we don't have any creatures, so it's probably not going to be that good. Sensory Deprivation is pretty good in this deck, but I'm not going to take it over a Ghoul Caller's Bell. And then there's Travel Preparations, but you know, we're not going down that route. Ooh, we could have had a sweet zombie deck. Nothing really here for us. I'm just going to go ahead and take the Traveler's Amulet. Well, yeah, I'll take the Traveler's Amulet. It'll make us splash a little bit easier and fill up our graveyard. I do want to pick up a couple Fortress Crabs if I can. They do a really nice job of holding off any ground offense, but we'll take the Traveler's Amulet here. And once again, we have a whole lot of nothing. I'll go ahead and take the Lost and Mist. I'm not too happy playing this card, but I'm not opposed to running like one of them in the mill decks. I mean, you can, if you have any sort of lead on the board, you can just sit back, counter their spell, and bounce it permanent. So that's pretty strong. Best card in the pack is probably the Elder, but we'll take the Lost. All right, the Trepanation Blade came back, so we're going to take that. There's nothing really else here that we would want. To note, though, Purify the Grave is pretty good against us, but yeah, Trepanation Blade it is. Yikes, alright, a whole lot of junk over here. I guess I could take the Memories Journal. It has a fine effect. We're not usually going to be able to flash it back, but seems alright. I mean, I guess I could take the Walking Corpse, but I'm going to take the Journal here. Why not? Nothing much for us here. I guess this is probably pretty good against us, but I don't think people really run the Wreath of Wreath of Geists. I'm going to take the Ranger's Guile. It does a lot of work against us, and yeah, I don't want to play against it. Same thing with the Woodland Sleuth. So far, not too impressed by the way this draft's going. Usually you see quite a few other mill effects floating around, but I mean, it could be the possibility that somebody else is trying to force it. I'm not quite sure, because we haven't seen enough of what we really want, and we might have to audible at the last minute here. But we'll have to see as far as the second pack brings us. Mill is fun. Ideally, we want to get some Curse of the Bloody Tomes, some more Ghoul Caller's Bells, some Dream Twists. Even like a Burning Vengeance would be pretty good with all the flashback potential that we have. Alright, pack, hurry up and fire. Do. Alrighty, got the last card of pack 1. So overall, pack 1 was pretty poor for what we were hoping to do. I mean, we did get 2 nice red cards that we're definitely going to play, and a few mediocre blue cards, as well as some decent artifacts, but nothing very impressive. Here we opened a sweet land, so we're probably going to end up splashing the black because we already have the dead weight. Nephilia Drown Yard does a really good job of milling if you can, or if you're not drawing anything else. And actually, there's not really any other card I'd want to play in this deck. I mean, I guess the Victim of Night it would be fine, but we're not going to be as heavy black as, say, we are red, or at least I'm hoping not. And if you can combine this card with like the Undead Alchemist, which I've done before, it just becomes such a beating. So we're going to go ahead and take the land there. Yikes! Again, we're not really picking up anything we want for the mill deck. There are a lot of good cards here. Well, maybe not good, but fine cards that you'd play in other decks. But nothing really I'm too impressed or too happy taking. I guess I'll take the Village Ironsmith. I mean, the first strike is kind of relevant against other decks, and if we can lay down a quick early creature and then equip it up with Trepanation Blade, it's pretty good. Otherwise, I guess I would take not too much. I mean, the Rakashare is fine, but not in this deck. It's not the thing that you kind of want. So we'll go ahead and sadly take the Ironsmith, but not be very happy about that. Jeez, again, we're not getting anything that we really want for the deck. I guess I could take Frightful Delusion. It's not that impressive, and there's a ton of other good cards in this pack. like the Chapelgeist. Well, I guess not a ton, but and the Ghoul Razor, but they're all fine cards and a lot better than what we're going to end up take here. Yeah, I guess I'll go with the Frightful Delusion. Unfortunately, this mill plan is not working. Ooh, well, okay. We got some options here. We got the Civilized Scholar, the Geist Flame, and the Unburial Rites. We're not going to take the Rites, even though they're foil, so they're worth a little bit of money. I think that the pick comes between Geist Flame and Civilized Scholar. And I think the Scholar is a better card, but the Geist Flame is going to help us. Well, that's not true. The Civilized Scholar is going to probably help us a lot more. And it's a creature, so it gets to hold up the Trepanation Blade if we really need. Yeah, I'll go with the Civilized Scholar. Looters are always good, even though we really do want to pick up some removal. Alrighty, there we go. We got a Claustrophobia. That's pretty sweet. There are a few cards that we'd really want to play in this pack, like another Harvest Pyre would be fine. And Desperate Raving is actually quite good, but we'll take the solid removal. Alrighty, well, we got nothing in this pack except for the Selhoff Occultist, and he's actually pretty good. A 2/3 for 3 holds up a lot of stuff on the ground, and his extra ability is gonna push us over the top a lot of the time. Nice. Okay, we picked up a Silent Departure here, 7th pick. Really quite happy about that. Nothing else that we'd play here, so gladly snap that up. And more junk. I'm not gonna play any of these cards, but I don't want to play against, I don't know, Full Moon's Rising, I guess, against the Nut, the Nut Werewolf deck. Nothing here for us, really. I mean, if I was really hurting for playables, I'd play the Hysterical Blindness. But since I think we're going to be splashing, the Shimmering Grotto is going to be a lot better. So note to self, kids, this is not the way that you draft a successful mill deck. We should have like at least a Curse of the Bloody Tomes, and at least another Ghoul Caller's Bell, and maybe even a Dream Twist by now. We're just doing a lot of nothing with what the cards we have right now. And I guess I'll take another Trepanation Blade. Like, we could pick up some more creatures, I suppose, and having double Trepanation Blade could do some work. I mean, if we pick up an Invisible Stalker too, that'd be pretty sweet. But it's not really the best way to draft the mill deck for sure. Actually, I'm quite surprised that we haven't seen any Curse of the Bloody Tomes. Not at all. So that leads me to believe that somebody else is trying to draft the mill deck, which is pretty bad for us. Luckily, we picked up a lot of the good blue cards that are good in blue regardless, such as the Silent Departures, Civilized Scholar, Claustrophobia. Those are going to be fine in any deck you run them in, but I think they're especially needed in the mill. Yeah, once again, nothing here. I mean, I guess Make-A-Wish could be good against us. Pretty sad deck so far. I guess I'll just cut out the cards we're not going to end up playing. And we'll hide the land too. Not playing the Shovel. These are all okay. Probably not going to play the Journal or the second Journal. Already. Yeah, just sideboard junk. Hide the journals. Hopefully we can open something really sweet here. Well, we opened something sweet, and that's a Falkenrath Marauders. We're going to go ahead and take that. But not be impressed with anything else. I mean, the Forbidden Alchemy is really good in our deck. But we'll take the Nobles. Or Marauders, rather. So the Marauders is going to be fine in our deck. I mean, it can just kill people out of nowhere by itself, but certainly not the mill strategy that we wanted. Yeah, this is an awkward draft for sure. I feel like a lot of the time we're just going to end up dirtling around, stalling them out until we hit a creature, and then they kill the creature and we just lose. Alrighty, well, let's take a look here. So we have pretty much nothing that we truly be happy taking. I guess the Dissipate is fine, the Sensory Deprivation is fine. At this point, we might just want to audible out of the mill. We should have done that a long time ago, to be honest. But we could just go with a red-blue tempo type deck, and I'm fine with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the the Feral Ridgewolf here. Dissipate's fine, but we'll go with a creature. Well, here's a Curse of the Bloody Tome. So the thing is, what would we take if we didn't take the curse? And I think the answer is probably the Village Ironsmith, or probably the One-Eyed Scarecrow. But you know, it's not too late. I mean, I know we're in the third pack, and this is pick 3 already, but we can still kind of have a pseudo theme. I think we have enough stalling effects that if we can pick up some more stuff, we'll be okay. Right now, I think we're definitely taking. Oh, I was going to say definitely taking the Burning Vengeance, but we only have the 2 Silent Departures that are really feeding our flashback. Unfortunately, I can't take the Victim of Night. I don't think we're going to be playing heavy enough black. Black's just a splash for the Deadweight and the Nephilia Drownyard. Yeah, we'll go with the Burning Vengeance. I mean, it can get a lot better if we pick up some more stuff, but as it stands, it's just pretty bad. I guess I'll take another Deadweight here. The other option is the Stitcher's Apprentice. It works really well with the Selhoff Occultist, but seems to be lacking everywhere else. Yeah, we'll just take the removal spell in Deadweight. Alright, well, we got a Dream Twist, and that's fine in our deck. These last few picks are going to have to round us off with like another Curse of the Bloody Tome and another Dream Twist, but hey, we might be able to get there. The best card in the pack is probably the Hollowhenge Scavenger, but we'll take the Dream Twist. And get pretty much nothing here. We don't have enough creatures to really want to justify running the Stitch Drake, but it's the only thing I think we'll be playing, so we'll go ahead and take it. And, well, there's a Tribute to Hunger here, but I'm just going to take the Ghoul Caller's Bell. Like I said, it's good in the mill deck, and it's definitely what we want at this point. Alrighty, nothing here. I'm just going to counterdraft the Flyer. So our deck is quite bad, but you know we have the potential to get there. I mean, I'm not going to play the Stitch Drake. I'm going to just go ahead and hide that. No, not going to play any of these. Counterdraft the white card, I guess. Not going to play any of these. I guess I'll take the Ghost Quarter. Like I was saying, though, we might be able to get there in 1 or 2 of the games, but I don't expect this deck to go very far. Mill was just really cut off, it seemed. We're definitely not playing the Runic Repetition. We're playing 3 flashback cards, and we're not playing the Burning Vengeance because of that same fact. So I think this is our deck right here. We could even add 1 more card because we're pretty low casting cost, even though we're splashing. We didn't even get any Think Twices or anything either. Jeez. That pretty much tells me that I think somebody else had got to be drafting Mill if we got this few playables. But hey, this is what happens sometimes when you try to force. So, listen to you all. I mean, we still have potential. Oop, not playing that. A Stitch Drake is so bad with with as few creatures as we have. I feel like it's oftentimes just going to sit in our hand doing a whole lot of nothing. Alright, so we're at 21 cards. Yikes. Oh, sorry, the Deadweights, of course. That's fine. That puts us to 23. And I think I'm okay running the Stitch Drake. Not happy about it for sure, but with the Ghoul Caller's Bells, it becomes a little bit better. So I think this is the list of 24 that we're going to end up running. Actually, I might even cut the Lost and Mist. I'm not too impressed by that card. And since we're playing 3 colors, I might just want to run 17 land to be safe. So I have the Drownyard, the Shimmering Grotto, and probably, well, yeah, probably 2 swamps? No. We'll go 3 swamps. And let's see, a lot more blue than anything else, so probably 7 blue, I'd say. And that'll put us on 5 red. So that should be okay. With the Shimmering Grotto, we're going to be able to play our cards a little bit more easy. I think our number 1 goal is to mill people out with the double trepanation blade. But like I said, we don't have many creatures to equip it up to, so that's kind of bad. Like I guess our game plan number 2 is the mill. Well, mill with the other means. And then if we can get there once in a while with the Marauders, I'd be pretty happy. So yeah. This is how not to draft a mill deck, apparently. I mean, I said it in like pack 2, I believe, that it was obviously getting cut out and that we should have audibled, but I'm a fool for sticking to your guns, and this is sometimes where it gets you, so maybe this should be a lesson to y'all. Read signals. Read your signals. Anyways, we'll go ahead and submit the deck and see you guys for round 1.